Today I'm going to be working on my knife skills. This is obviously essential for a home cook. First off, you need a good knife. This is the knife I have. This is the Babish knife. I have lots of others, but I want to showcase using the cheapest knife I have, just so it's what everyone else owns. You do want that knife sharp. Use whatever you have. These Roland ones are cheap and easy to use, but just get that knife real sharp. That's the most key. You don't want to hold it just by the handle. If you can grab it up by the tang right there, that'll give you the best balance point, and it'll give you the most comfortable and precise motion, and you won't risk cutting yourself. Always hold it like this. Diving into the first cut, we're going to go over and show you a Julienne. I'm going to work with half-size carrots here, so cut them in half. Try to get the most uniform size ones you also can. We're going to make these squared, so cut off a little bit from all four sides. That'll give you a good place to cut from, but it won't rock, and they will be nice and uniform in size. This one needs a little more to come off that side. I'm just going to even that out, and now we're going to go and cut in maybe 1/8 to 1/4 inch size slices. Try to keep them uniform, try to keep them very, very straight, and that's what you just want to work on. Be straight, be precise, be slow, take your time, and work and develop these skills. I know I'm not a pro, so correct me in any places that I'm doing wrong. I'm just trying to increase my skill set here. Now to create the Julienne, we're going to stack those up, and we're going to cut the same size again from those pieces. About a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch slice down the length of those carrot pieces. And you are left with these beautiful little slices, Julienne carrots. These are great as a garnish. These are also great if you're maybe frying them and you want little like crisp pieces. If you want to do larger like French fries, you can use a baton, which is a larger cut, but the same exact technique. But from that Julienne now, we can make a Brunoise, which is a very fine dice. So you're going to stack those up again, and now you're going to cut them crosswise into maybe an 1/8 inch or smaller, and you're going to get the finest little dice possible. All these skills kind of line up into each other because you're cutting that carrot into a Julienne, now into a Brunoise. It's all from that same place and skill set. Look at how uniform and beautiful those pieces are. The exact use of it, I'm not totally sure. I've never needed it, but that's how you do it, and that's what I'm practicing. Now we're going to do a dice. We're going to cut those same size pieces, and this is going to be a large dice, so we're just going to cut these into quarters. If you want a medium dice, maybe you cut it into 1/6 or 1/8. Then you're getting towards the Julienne Brunoise area, but this is just for like maybe stocks, soups, places where you want larger pieces, but you want them uniform. And now just cut them nice and uniform. If pieces stick there to your knife, I like to use that. Instead of wiping them off, I use that to kind of guide up how thick the last slice was to keep consistency. But that there is a dice. So far, 3 cuts there, very easy. Now we're going to do a Roland. This is, I believe it means round. So my practice here is just to continue cutting the same size. I want to cut straight through the carrot. I want each piece to be the same thickness, and I don't want one end to be thicker like I'm moving my knife in any angle left or right down through it. I want to try to practice cutting precise, smooth cuts, leaving the same size piece of round carrot. Obviously, it's going to be thinner or thicker as you go through the carrot, but that's what I'm looking for. Fairly uniform pieces. I'm very happy with that. Now I'm going to show you how I cut some onion. This is the top. This is the root end. I'm going to cut from the top, and then I'm going to peel the paper down. If you want to use a paring knife or something smaller to help you here, that's totally fine. But I'm just going to kind of peel as much paper as I can, use my knife to kind of pry away that next layer. If you do get the layer under the paper, that's totally fine. I normally like to remove that anyway. But then you're left with, hopefully it should all be together. This is the root side. Don't cut the whole root off, but you could trim that away. And see the root's intact, and you're good to go. Now we're going to cut this in half through the root so the root stays intact. My cut's a little crooked here, so try to do better than me. But now we're going to create kind of a slice Julienne style. You see the lines on the onion are kind of your guides here, so follow them around. This is great for when you want long strands that aren't like onion ring pieces, but you want them long, uniform together. Just follow those pieces through, the rings through. When you get to a point where you can't keep going, just flip it back on its side, and now cut it as if you're beginning again. And work and just try to make this as uniform as possible. Onions are my weakness when it comes to long strips like this. I'm very bad with my consistency, so this one I've been practicing a lot lately. But as you can see, you get fairly uniform long slices. If the root's still intact in some areas, you can just come in and just chop that root piece off, and they'll be totally fine. But now I'm going to show you my dice. This one I'm proud of. I like my dice, but you're going to lay the root piece away from you because you do not want to cut through the root here. You want it to be kind of your friend, and it'll hold these pieces together. But similar as the last time, follow these through from the kind of the lines of the onion. That'll give you your guides. You want try to keep those pieces fairly the same size. Then turn it, and we're going to run our knife into it. Watch out for your fingers. My technique there is very bad, I know, but you want to kind of keep pressure to keep the onion pieces from flying away. You can already see it's trying to break off into dices. But once you do that, now you're going to cut through it. Try to keep those slices very similar, like that, and you have a very easy dice of your onion. There obviously are other cuts to practice, but I think if you practice all of these, you're definitely setting yourself up for some very good quality cooking and very nice knifesmanship. And there you go. You got the Julienne, Brunoise, a nice dice, Roland, and then your onion slices and your onion dice. And this is just practice those over and over again. Don't waste food. I'm going to throw all of this into a stock, so it's all going to get used at different sizes. But that is how I practice knife cuts. I'm very happy with how this looks. Try it, let me know, and give me some tips.